Start with John Corrales.
Hey, Brad. Let's start with the injuries. Jalen's out. When did that happen? Was that on that breakaway? And Jason Tatum, I noticed he had a wrap on his knee. Was that a patellar type of wrap?
I don't know about the Tatum wrap. But it sounds like Jalen's was just, over the course of the first couple of weeks here, just some general soreness of that knee. And he really felt it probably more than he had been in the Sacramento game. You saw the layup in front of our bench where he laid it in off one leg. Usually, as I told him, he looked like me on that one. So, he was sore that night. Yesterday, still sore. This morning, still. So he'll be more of a day-to-day. But, he's dealing with just the intensity of all these games, that have come before already that he hasn't missed any of. So hopefully it's not something long-term. We're certainly on top of it. But it wasn't one moment that I know.
And is that something now that if it's the soreness, if it's the accumulated wear and tear, is that something that might cost him a couple of games here and there as you have back-to-backs?
I think as I said, John, I think it's more day-to-day than that. But certainly if we think like it's going to be something where, you play him and then he has to sit, and play him, then he has to sit, it would be something then we would have to look at. Do we need to sit him for an extended period of time so that we don't have to play the back and forth game with him?
Mark Murphy.
Hi, Brad. Have any tests been taken, or does he have any scheduled?
No.
Abby Chin.
Hi, Brad. Sticking with the injury thread, Peyton Pritchard cleared to go. Will he have to deal with any minutes restriction? I know he comes off the bench and doesn't play, a ton of minutes, really. And then my second question is just about the Clippers and what you've seen about the way they're playing, and even without PG tonight.
No, they're really talented. They're really deep. You think about, I always start with their bench, right? When you look at Lou Williams, Kennard, Marcus Morris, Zubac, those guys have all been, obviously Lou's been off the bench, but he's been sixth man of the year or one of the top candidates the last few years. The rest of those guys are starters and really good players. It complements their starting lineup well. They've done a really good job, even with Beverly out. They hunt matchups about as much as any team that will play. But then they do a good job of, when they get the matchup they want, not settling. They're just getting an advantage. And then they take advantage of that by spraying the ball around, moving the ball, and utilizing all their skill. I think the Ibaka pickup was huge. His versatility defensively and his floor spacing are a good complement to those other guys. And obviously, that starts with Leonard and George.
Chris Ryan.
Hey, Brad. Obviously, the COVID situation with Jason and now the injuries have tested your depth this year. What have you noticed about your depth? What have you liked? What have you not liked? What you've seen?
Well, I think every game we just try to go in there and whoever's available play as well as we can with who's there. And, I think it's great opportunities for the guys that are behind some of those guys. And in a lot of ways, it's a reminder to us to just kind of stay the course, right? We're not going to get too high or too low right now as we have, obviously the first month, Kimba not available. Now Marcus out, Jalen out, Jason missing time. I think that we just have to try to get as good as we can be, try to create some real reliability off the bench and those other guys. And so that when we're back full, that we can be our best. But, I think that like a lot of players in the league, we've had moments where we've shown ourselves capable, and the next step for young players is, being consistent and, part of that is opportunity, and they're getting great opportunity right now.
Final question for Coach Tradar.
Hey, Brad, I actually had two quick, just one, a very quick follow-up. I guess a lot of attention lately on the All-Star game. As far as Jaylen Brown goes, a lot of credit to him to playing to that level this year. What do you feel has allowed him to kind of take that next step this season?
Well, first of all, he was probably, if there are 12 All-Stars, he might have been 13th last year. So it's not like he wasn't in the mix, and it was not like he wasn't playing great at this time last year. And I think that it's just another year of growth and hard work. And then on top of that, there's just more opportunity too. And I think that when you add those things together with his level of commitment, with his level of growth, the fact that we've, obviously are running more through him and Jayson, both, at the 32 to 33% usage rate, there's great opportunity for those guys, and they've taken advantage of it. They've done a good job with that. So I think it's, one thing I don't ever want to take for granted is that guys will grow, guys will improve, because not everybody does, and it's not always linear. But Jaylen has, and so I think that he deserves a lot of credit for putting himself in that mix. But he's been in that mix last year. I think he's even more solidly in there this year.
All right, we're going to wrap it up right there. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.